But you certainly have contracts with disposal facilities somewhere,
Yes.
and where would those be?
We don't have anything in place for this area right now, but other existing facilities that we operate, we do.
Okay. Is that Waste Management Northwestern?
Waste management facilities, that's correct.
Or Waste Management Meadowbrook over near Clarksburg, or
So we've dealt with all of those.
all of those? Okay.
No, I was just wondering who says, going back to Ohio not being able to restrict what's coming in and out, who says that? Where does that law come from? Interstate?
It's federal law, to my knowledge, and Rich, maybe you can add to that. Rich Fox is my supervisor, so.
Yeah, I would say it goes back to federal court cases where one state cannot restrict the flow of, in this case it's waste, but it's the flow of product and commerce. Generally it's the economics of the cost of disposal sometimes moves waste across state lines more than restrictive laws, because the laws would not be upheld because of that federal interstate clause.
If the federal law restricts Ohio from doing this, how is it that these other states can say, no, we don't want it, we won't allow it here?
I don't have that answer for you. I mean, I don't know their
We would
rules.
appreciate it if somebody would get the answer.
After New York reviews it, sends it
Yes.
out, and now for Pennsylvania, that's
Yes.
what all coming here. That's
Why is it all coming to us?
It might be more of economics than the state saying it cannot come
In
here.
other words, money.
Money talks and greed wins,
Sure.
right?
Well, and it may be that it's too expensive to take it somewhere else.
Oh, let's be reasonable, sir.
From West Virginia, Pennsylvania, New York, it's more reasonable to take it out of state and take it states away.
They would only be doing it if it was financially made sense for them.
Okay. Please, let's try to take comments and questions one at a time. That's all I ask. We do have a stenographer here. It's a very difficult job, so we have to have some order in regard to questions and comments, please.
Okay, I have a series of questions, but this isn't a part of them. This is more like on the heels of what some other people had asked. When my friend asked the question about the interstate commerce, the comment was made that we cannot restrict the flow of product. And in my estimation, if something is being brought here as a byproduct of another industry for permanent disposal, that does not constitute a product. And so I'd like to know what justification there is for bringing solid and liquid waste here for permanent disposal and calling it a product. And the other question that I would have is, in terms of landfills, we know from experience here in Ohio, Mansfield is one place that I could send you documentation. Not all of our landfills are equipped with radiation monitors, but the waste that's coming from drill cuttings from oil and gas drilling sites has been sufficient to set off those landfill monitors and force them to reject the waste. It was taken away from those landfills, and we have no idea where it went, probably to a landfill that didn't have radiation monitors. And so I'm going to have questions for you about radiation levels and what the criteria is for choosing an acceptable landfill to bring low-level radiation waste into Ohio as a product.
Roy, you want Eric to talk about the program?
I don't think it's appropriate yet. We're starting to get into operational type issues, and we want to go through our presentation and take those questions at the end. This question period is intended for discussion of the permit approval process, permit evaluation process with Ohio EPA. Other questions?
So we can't really ask about where this is coming from, But does Ohio EPA then have control over the content of what is coming to this facility? And is that an appropriate thing to comment on when we write our letters?
It is, for this type of facility, they would be allowed to accept any non-hazardous liquids or non-hazardous solids. So yes, we would certainly look at that aspect of it.
So does the EPA or the Weavertown people, do they do testing of all the incoming byproduct or whatever you call it? And then you have to okay whether that can come to the facility or not?
Again, that's a question or a comment related to their operation, which we'd like to answer those at the end of our presentation.
I do want to respond to this woman's comment back here about why do they keep sending the waste here. We had an injection well meeting a few weeks ago and had a person from West Virginia who had written the policies over there, and she said they require testing of any waste that is brought there, drill waste or the cuttings and the backflow and the brine and so forth. And so the oil and gas companies have chosen not to take it there because it has to be tested. And the same in Pennsylvania, I know, I'm not sure about New York. So we're not testing, we just let them bring it.
Okay, we're starting to get off base a little bit again. This is totally in regard to the Weavertown Transport Leasing Transfer Station proposal.
But would that be part of his EPA, his plans?
Well, he is here too, only to discuss this specific permit application.
Well, let me just add that waste byproducts from a drilling operation are regulated by ODNR. So Ohio EPA does not have control of that waste.
The Department of Natural Resources.
Yes.
I'm on the Monroe County Airport Board and the Monroe County Health Board. And when the transfer of the concrete facility in Winchfield, it was sold to another person, they had to get a new EPA permit. Is this what this is like? And we had to go to object at the dust when they were mixing the concrete because it's coming over, settling on the airport, planes, windshields and so on, and causing corrosion. Is that what this meeting is about, to voice our objection to this facility? But if anyone, the EPA came in and said if anyone has any complaints about this transfer of ownership for a new permit, we were to voice them then. Is that what this is about?
This is not really that. That sounds like that was a hearing.
Okay.
This is more of just a information exchange.
How much traffic is there going to be with this? Do you have any idea how many trucks is going to come in per day? Or is it, how do you do that?
Well, again, I'd like to answer that at the end of our presentation, because that's related to their operation. I'm sorry.
I keep sitting here thinking I wish they would have gone back to those two slides that you went through very quickly. One I just blinked and it was gone. Could you go back to the slides that talked about the question that this one back here, someone asked about 500 feet away, and then the one right after that. Right there is the first one, and then the next one too. But could we just look at that for a minute before you go to the next one?